This weekend, the Brazilian film I'm Still Here is competing for two prestigious Oscars, Best International Feature and Best Picture. Its lead actress, Fernanda Torres, already a Golden Globe winner for Best Actress, is also in the running for an Academy Award. The film, directed by Walter Salles, has not only captivated audiences worldwide, but also ignited discussions about Brazil's past under military rule. Set in 1970s, Brazil, I'm Still Here follows the Paiva family, who live what seems to be an idyllic life by the beaches of Rio de Janeiro. However, their world is shattered when the father, Rubens Paiva, a former congressman, is arrested and disappears without a trace. His wife Eunice, played by Fernanda Torres, is left to navigate the harsh reality of raising 5 children alone while confronting the brutal truth of her husband's fate. The film is based on the real-life story of the Paiva family, chronicled in a 2015 memoir by Marcelo Paiva, Rubens' only son. Decades after Brazil's military dictatorship ended in 1985, the family finally received official confirmation of what they had long suspected. Rubens had been tortured and killed by military authorities. His body was never found. Torres' portrayal of Eunice Paiva is a testament to resilience. Speaking about her role, she reflects, "The essence of this film is endurance. The regime tried to erase this family, but this woman with 5 children refused to be forgotten. Cinema and literature have the power to preserve memory, ensuring that their story lives on." Walter Salles' direction brings a haunting realism to the film. In one gripping scene, Eunice is detained and interrogated, knowing deep down that her husband may never return. Yet, she maintains composure, refusing to break. Torres describes the challenge of portraying such restrained emotion. As an actor, you always want to show how well you can express emotions, crying, screaming, but this character demanded something different. Eunice had to remain composed for the sake of her children. It taught me a lot about acting. To prepare for the role, Torres studied archival footage of the real Eunice Paiva, watching interviews that spanned decades of her life. She also had another guiding influence: her mother, Fernanda Montenegro, a legendary Brazilian actress, and the first in the country's history to be nominated for an Academy Award. In a touching moment of cinematic continuity, Montenegro plays the older version of Eunice in the later years of the film. Reflecting on her mother's impact, Torres recalls an early lesson in acting. She once told me that when portraying a tragic character, you cannot start crying at the first sign of bad news. Tragedy is about endurance, swallowing the pain, and carrying on. That advice stayed with me while portraying Eunice. Despite critical acclaim, I'm Still Here has not been without controversy. Upon its release in Brazil, far-right groups called for a boycott, arguing that the film was an attempt to reopen old wounds. However, the film has resonated with audiences, drawing large crowds and sparking nationwide discussions about the country's historical amnesia regarding the dictatorship. Stop. Film's relevance is underscored by recent political events in Brazil. Just this month, former President Jair Bolsonaro was charged with allegedly conspiring to overturn his election defeat in 2022. This development has reignited concerns about democracy in Brazil, making I'm Still Here even more timely. Torres acknowledges the importance of cinema as a tool against forgetting. Brazil never fully confronted the crimes of its dictatorship. We thought it was over, but recent events prove otherwise. This film has sparked conversations, bringing people from all backgrounds to the theater to reflect on our past and what it means for our future. As the film continues to make waves internationally, its impact extends beyond awards. It serves as a reminder that history, if left unexamined, can repeat itself. When it was released in Brazil in November, far-right groups called for a boycott of the film. But despite the backlash, I'm Still Here became a major box office success, sparking discussions about Brazil's historical memory and the film's relevance today. Just this month, former President Jair Bolsonaro was formally charged with plotting a coup to overturn his 2022 election defeat. The timing of these charges has reignited debates over Brazil's past military rule and the country's ongoing struggle with political instability. Fernanda Torres believes that Brazil's past was never truly reckoned with. She points out that the country's military dictatorship ended not with trials or accountability, but with an agreement to forget. Known as the Amnesty Law, this agreement allowed those responsible for crimes to walk free. The collective memory of this dark period faded. But now, with I'm Still Here, the conversation has resurfaced in a way that no one expected. The film's director, Walter Salles, has spoken about the role of cinema as a tool against historical erasure. He described I'm Still Here as an instrument against forgetting. Torres agrees. She has seen firsthand how the film has changed the way people think about Brazil's past. Audiences from all backgrounds have been deeply moved by the story of Rubens Paiva's family. She believes that when history is told through personal stories, through the suffering of a mother, the loss of a father, the fear of a child, it becomes impossible to ignore. She has witnessed people leaving the theater in stunned silence, reflecting on the reality that this was not just a movie. It was real. A man was taken, tortured, and killed. His family was erased from records, and for years, Brazil chose to look away. It's rare for a film to have such a profound cultural and political impact. For Torres, this role is more than just another performance. It's a deeply personal experience. Beyond the film's political implications, I'm Still Here has also placed her in the international spotlight. It has been an extraordinary journey for Torres, whose mother, Fernanda Montenegro, is a legend in Brazilian cinema. Montenegro was the first Brazilian actress ever nominated for an Oscar, recognized for her role in Central Station, 1998, which was also directed by Walter Salles. Now, decades later, Torres has followed in her mother's footsteps, receiving an Oscar nomination of her own. For her, this moment is surreal. She never imagined that, like her mother, she would one day stand at this crossroads, nominated for an Oscar for a film directed by Walter Salles. But more than recognition, what matters to her is the film's impact. She sees this nomination as a sign that the world is listening to Brazil's story. Her mother, now 95, also plays a role in I'm Still Here, appearing as the older version of Torres' character in the later years of her life. When asked about the greatest lesson her mother has taught her about acting, Torres recalls one piece of advice that stayed with her. You can't play a tragic character by breaking down in tears the moment something bad happens. When you portray tragedy, you have to endure. You have to swallow it. This lesson shaped her performance in I'm Still Here. She realized that Eunice Paiva, the woman she portrayed, did not have the luxury of collapsing under grief. She had to stay strong for her children. She had to carry on, even when her world was falling apart. Torres understood that sometimes restraint is far more powerful than outward emotion. As I'm Still Here continues to gain worldwide recognition, it's also challenging how Brazil remembers its past. For decades, the country's history books have often glossed over the human rights abuses of the dictatorship. Many younger Brazilians have grown up without fully understanding what happened during those years. But this film is changing that. It's forcing the country to confront the painful truths it has long avoided. Torres sees this as the film's greatest achievement. In Brazil, there is an old saying, "A country with no memory is doomed to repeat its mistakes." To her, I'm Still Here is more than a film. It's a warning. It's a reminder of what happens when a nation chooses to forget. And at a time when democracy is under threat once again, she believes that remembering the past has never been more important. With Oscar night approaching, the film I'm Still Here stands as both a cinematic achievement and a powerful historical statement. Fernanda Torres, Walter Salles, and the entire cast and crew have created a film that doesn't just tell a story, it demands remembrance. I'm Still Here isn't just a film, it's a powerful reminder of Brazil's untold history. By bringing these stories to light, it forces us to confront the past and ensure history is never erased. As the Oscars approach, the film's impact continues to grow, sparking crucial conversations worldwide. Now it's your turn to be part of this movement. Watch I'm Still Here, share its message, and help keep history alive. Don't let history be forgotten. Stand for truth, stand for justice. And for more powerful stories like this, subscribe now and stay informed.